much for joining me today. I have a really fun video planned for you, and I'm going to do a full tutorial here on the video. So before I show you what we're making today, I just wanted to mention something. This is the cute little kit that we put together in my last video, and I am going to come on and do a video on how I use this kit. But the hold up on that is I cannot find my crocodile. So in the move from our old house to this house, I lost my crocodile, my tiny attacher, and you guys know I lose my tiny attacher all the time. So it's somewhere in this house, in my new craft room, but I just can't find it right now. So I did a video recently on covering little composition books, and I'll link that below. But out of this kit right here, I'm going to be making a mini traveler's notebook. So here's the one that I made with those notebooks that I did the tutorial on. And again, I need to punch my holes so I can do my elastic, but I can't find my crocodile, and I need that 1/8 of an inch hole to do this. So I already put this together. I just have to do the elastic part, but this is basically how it's going to look. And these are those little vinyl sleeves that I linked in my last video. And so this is basically how it'll look. It's super cute. The paper's double-sided, and you have pockets on each of the inside covers, and then you have your cute little notebook here. It's all covered. And in the middle, I still have to bind this together, but I made a cute little scrapbook. And so this is where all that scrapbook paper comes in. So this is going to be like a little scrapbook style traveler's notebook. And so that's that insert. And then 2 more of the cute little covered composition books. And these are so easy to cover. So this one I did decorate it with some stickers in that video. And then we have the back cover. So this is a cute little chubby size, no laminating necessary. It's super cute in this little vinyl sleeve. And then once I get my hole punch or my crocodile, I will be able to get this hole punched and get the elastic in there and the binding and everything, and then we'll have a cute little traveler's notebook. And it goes so much faster than having to laminate, which I do have a video on that as well. If you would like to laminate and you don't have these sleeves, I'll link that below also. That's what I would like to make using this kit, and I think it's just super cute. So once I get my crocodile, I'm going to be doing that video. Okay, so these are kind of new to my Dollar Tree, but this is 3 separate notepads, and you get this for $1.25, and it comes in this little jot packaging right here from Dollar Tree, and they all have a nice backing. So I wanted to come up with a project for these for a craft fair idea, because I want to make a bunch of these for my craft fair. So I have a couple packs here. I already used one of them, and I have a yellow notepad left, so that's the one we're going to use today. And I want to show you how cute these came out. Okay, so let me take the seam binding off, and I'm going to show you some more of the seam binding in just a second. So this one, I have a closure, and it's like these Velcro attachment hook and eye things. And I just got a package of these at Walmart. And actually, these are the bigger ones, and you can get smaller ones at Dollar Tree, which would probably work a lot better. But I got these little hook and loops, and I did this. But I'll show you on this one how you don't even need it. It's not necessary. But here's this one, and what I did over here is I made a cute little cover for the notebook. And the notebook is just tucked into this pocket here with all these cute pages. And then over here, I made a pocket on the side to put more goodies in. So I just put like a little page marker in there. And I made this cute little flip out with a die cut. And this is just a pocket that I put some of the journaling cards in. And then I thought it was super cute to just clip this little typewriter in there with a paper clip. And then just another image from the paper collection. So this one's just a little different than this one, but that's how I did this one. And the way I designed this one is you can still rip the paper out and you still get the full sheet. So if you need it to make notes or something, you can still rip out the full sheet of notebook paper. Okay, so there's that one. And then I just close it like this with the Velcro, and then my seam binding. And isn't that image just so adorable? So as you can see, the image was on the left side. And so that's how I made it on the covers. I flipped it this way. Okay, I'm gonna show you the full tutorial here in a second. So this one here is my favorite, and I love her little red braids. So this one, I didn't even use the Velcro. I just simply folded it over and used seam binding, and I think I like that better. So this is the one we're gonna do a tutorial on, and this one I did another pocket here, and then I also did a ripped layered pocket. So you actually have 2 pockets over here. I think that looks really cute. I'm like obsessed with that ripped look. And then I just included a bunch of die cuts in a cute little image here. And I tucked it into this pocket. And then over here, I put a bunch of the little journaling cards in there. So that's in that pocket down there, and it has a little teacup. So again, you can rip these pages out, and I just made a cute little topper. Super adorable. And it's in the pocket, so you can just change these out when this runs out. And again, all I did was just close this with some beautiful seam binding from MyScrapcabin, and I'm going to talk about that shop in just a second because you're going to be blown away when I show you something. So let's get started on this really simple tutorial. Before we get started, I want to just share with you that little journal that I made. I was just playing around with a full composition book, and I cut the paper down, and I used, of course, my paper from the Strawberry Milkshake by Prima, and I love this little page down here. I just made this little journal, and it was so easy. So here's like a big pocket on the front cover, and then I just put a little bit of the scrapbook paper in, and I used paper from a big composition book, and I just cut it down. And so it's just like a simple little journal. And I loved using that paper. So here's the center of my journal. And there's this paper. So if you guys want to learn how to make this, I will do a quick tutorial on it. Just let me know in the comments. And then here's the back, and then here's another big pocket you can fit tons of stuff in. So I just made this for myself, and I stitched all the pages in. It was so easy. Let's get started on this one. I am using the beautiful Woodland Grove paper by Maggie Holmes for this one. And I just want to show you. Here's some of the scraps because I used this paper already in the kit that we made in the last video, which is right here. We made this one, so I'll link that below if you want to go see that. Look at how perfect this package of seam binding goes with this project. I'm going to open it in a minute, but this is the Sewing Room bundle set, and it's 16 vintage inspired seam binding bundles in one. And you hear me talk about this shop all the time because I love seam binding. I love mixing the colors. I love working with it. And her seam binding is so fluffy and vibrant, and I just absolutely love it. But look at how perfect this goes with this collection. And I have really good news. Erin, who is a shop owner over at MyScrapcabin, she is such a beautiful artist. I mean, just look at this seam binding. I just am obsessed. I could just stare at this all day. But she's offering all of my subscribers a 10% off purchase from her shop. So if you use the coupon code LYRIC10, and I'll put it here on the screen, you can go over to her shop and she'll give you 10% off with that coupon code. And so of course it's exclusive to my subscribers, and so make sure you use the LYRIC10 code and go on a shopping spree in her shop. Stock up for the holidays, get all your favorite colors. You know I will never stop getting seam binding from her shop. It's my favorite, and you'll see how I use it in this project. Okay, let's get started on this tutorial. So for the big piece, which is the base of your notepad holder, you need a piece that measures 12 across by 9 tall. A little piece that decorates the top of the notebook measures 5 across by 3 inches tall. And the pocket for the notebook to slip into, so that measures 6 1/8 wide by 4 inches tall. And for the ripped pockets, the big one measures 6 by 5 1/4, and the little one is 3 by 5 1/4, and that is 5 1/4 wide. And those are the dimensions if you're using the notepads that I showed you from the Dollar Tree. And the dimensions on those measure 5 inches by 8 inches. So how this is going to look is it's going to be folded over like this, and essentially like that. It's going to be a cute little holder like that. And so I'm going to put this in upside down onto the back side because I want this to be the cover. So the first score you're going to make is at 1.5 inches. So then your second and last score line is going to be at 6 3/4. So again, we scored at 1.5 and 6 3/4. So then you just want to fold on your score lines, just like this, and like that. So now you have your little booklet to make your cute little notepad holder. So this little piece here is the piece that's going to go on the notepad like this. So all you're going to do is turn this to the 3-inch side, so that way it's 3 inches across up here. You're just going to score at 2 inches, and then again at 2 1/4. So again, those score lines were 2 inches and 2 1/4. So then we can fold on these, and be very careful that you don't rip your paper. So just be careful you don't rip it. So there we go, I folded on the score lines there. So next I have the pocket page in here, and this is where the notebook is going to be slid into. Put this in on the 6 1/8 side, and then you're going to score this at 1/2 inch. And then turn it around and do 1/2 inch again. And we're all done with scoring. The only thing on this is I want to share with you is I take a little tiny sliver from this edge right here, so this closes a lot more flat and clean. So I'm just going to take a little sliver off of this, not even enough to give you a measurement. It's just going to be a tiny little sliver. So there's a little sliver I took off. And now it should work a lot better and close flat. And I do want to round the corners on the little flap, and then these two edges here. So the first thing I want to do is get our little holder here and put in that pocket. So that goes nestled right centered between those two score lines where they fold, here and here. So for that, I'm going to use some of this Scor Tape, so it has a really nice hold. I'm just going to put this Scor Tape on these flaps here. So these are our little 1/2 inch flaps that we scored. So I'm just going to do one piece of Scor Tape on each one. And this is the best adhesive in my opinion when it comes to the dry adhesive, so I'm going to link this below. And it's really strong, especially if it's going to hold in that notepad. So I'm just going to release the backing. And of course, stick this right. Make sure we're right side up here. It's going to go right on this left panel. And these gussets make it to where there's more room in there, and the notebook can be slid in and out to change it or whatever. So again, I'm going to center this between those two score lines. I'm just going to make sure it's right outside that score line, and then it should fit perfectly over here. So I just glued that down. Make sure we're good on the fold here, and we are. So I'm just going to burnish that down. the notebook slides right into there and it fits perfectly. So I like to also just close up the bottom, and so I'm going to just take a little wet adhesive, put a little bead down here on the bottom. So now we have our little pocket done, and next I want to work on the cute little topper for this. And it's going to go just like this on our notebook. We already scored it, and it's super cute. There's the back, and here's the front, but I like to round these corners just to make it a little more decorative. So to glue this on, I'm going to take some of my Scor Tape, and I'm going to leave this big flap right here completely free of adhesive, but I'm going to put Scor Tape on the rest of it. So I put Scor Tape on the little gusset in the middle, and then on this flap here. And so I'm just going to burnish that down and glue this on there. So I'm going to release the backing. And then fit this right on the notebook. So as long as we have all those edges lined up, we should be able to just press it down. I like to burnish this part down, and of course this part up here. So this right here is all free of adhesive, so you can still tear each page off without it being obstructed by this flap. But I like to keep this a little bit closed, so I'm going to choose some seam binding from my little collection that I just showed you from MyScrapcabin. And I want to use this pretty sage green, and this one's called Sea Moss. So I'm going to snip just a little bit off of here. To measure it, it's 28 inches, and I don't know if that's going to be perfect, but that's what I'm going to do for this. So what I like to do is find the middle of my seam binding. So there it is, and then I'm going to flatten that part out. On the back of this, and then I'm going to bring it over the top and tie it in a little bow. Isn't this so pretty? It just adds so much to that notebook. Little topper. I love it. And what you can do is add a little adhesive back here. I think I'm going to do that on this. See where I just put it? Just a little bit right there. So let me just undo the backing, and then I'll lay the seam binding on top of that, and that way it won't move around. So I'm going to slip this into the cute little pocket now. And now once this notebook is all done, you can just slip it out of the pocket and put a new one in. So isn't that super cute? I love this seam binding color. It's my favorite. So we've got that side all done. Now I want to do the cute little ripped pockets, and that's going to be super easy. So next I want to do my first ripped pocket, and on this one we're going to do the same thing. Take a little tiny sliver off the edge. And it's going to go right here. I'm going to rip this top part though, but before we do that, I'm going to round this little corner to match up with that one. Just this bottom right corner. So then it will fit right there, and it's going to look so cute layered with the other one. So before I glue this down, I'm just going to rip, and if I rip towards me, it'll expose the other side of the paper, which is what we want. So there's that ripped pocket, and I think it looks super cute. So I'm going to take my wet glue and just glue down all of the sides. corners here that are rounded and the edge, and then it should lay just shy of that middle scored line. Now I'm going to grab the other piece here that I'm going to rip. So that is basically the construction of our notepad holder. I think it turned out so cute, and I'm just gonna fill this now with a bunch of goodies from the collection. And when we close this up, we need a closure for the outside, so I'm gonna choose a couple colors of the seam binding to make a little closure. Okay, so I'm all done with my notepad holder. Isn't it so cute? And just look how beautiful it looks with the seam binding closure. And I put a little die cut under that paper clip on the front. And I loved making these. I want to make a bunch of them for my craft fair with Christmas and fall paper and just more of this beautiful floral paper. So all we need to do to go in here is you can either slide this off or just untie it. So I'm just going to slide this off. And inside is our cute little notebook that you can interchange because it's inside this pocket. And of course our cute topper. And over here I just stuck some fun ephemera in the pockets. So I have this layered insert and I just put journaling cards and die cuts, and then I'm just going to slip that back in the big pocket. And then down here in this small pocket, I just put some of the journaling cards and a little die cut. And I think these are super cute to put notes on or anything, or just leave in here for decoration. And then up here, I just clipped two little labels and I put it on this paper clip, and then it just clips the front little die cut on here. So I hope that you'll run over to Dollar Tree and pick up some of these notepads and maybe stock up for your craft fair. But these are so fun to make, super easy and quick, and I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you very soon in the next video. Bye!